I had no idea about the atrocities and exploitation behind egg and dairy. I just thought those are happy animals and it doesn't hurt them. But the moment I learned about it, there was no justification and I went vegan. Hi, my name is Dr. Faraz Harsini and I'm a biomedical and food systems scientist. I'm also the founder of Allied Scholars for Animal Protection, or ASAP. It's a nonprofit that promotes veganism in universities. So our goal is to train the future generation of thought leaders with vegan values. So we basically want vegans in the position of power and influence, and we want to start at universities where it matters the most. So I have been vegan for 11 years. I'm 100% vegan for life. What made me vegan? 11 years ago, I was involved in some animal rights activities, even before being a vegan or vegetarian. So I'm from Iran, and in Iran we have a tradition where we buy goldfish for Persian New Year, live goldfish, and millions of fish die every year. So I was trying to encourage my fellow Iranians not to buy goldfish and be kinder to animals. Until one of my friends said, Faraz, you don't make any sense. You literally eat fish, and then you're trying to save these fish. Like you can't say that you love animals and eat them too, basically. And I was a little mad at my friend. I didn't like her for a while. And 3 months later, I was like, she has a point. Despite the fact that I really loved meat and I grew up in a culture that it was very normal to eat meat, I just, at some point I looked at the animals and I was like, I can't do that. I can't be the reason that this happens to animals. When I became vegetarian, I never even knew about veganism. In Iran, growing up, I never even heard of veganism. I don't even think we have a word for it until just recently. So I remember a day that I told myself there are people who are so extreme, they don't even consume egg and dairy. And that's, of course, because I had no idea about the atrocities and exploitation behind egg and dairy. I just thought those are happy animals and it doesn't hurt them. But the moment I learned about it, there was no justification and I went vegan. Now, was it hard? I think before going vegan seems very difficult because you think like, oh, there is nothing to eat and I'm gonna miss all the food that I love. Well, the good news is today I eat everything I used to eat, just a vegan version. From lasagna, pizza, ice cream, anything I want to eat, I can make it vegan. But most importantly, I would say, the moment that we put ourselves in place of animals who have to be exploited, abused, and tortured for their entire life, and then you ask yourself, is it harder for me to make a simple dietary choice, or is it harder for those animals to go through that? The answer is very easy, right? So the moment we think if we put ourselves in place of animals, going vegan becomes the easiest and most logical and ethical thing that we can do. And plus, when you go vegan, literally the amount of difference that it introduces in your life is when you go grocery shopping, instead of this fridge and getting dairy from here, you just turn and use this fridge and you get almond, soy, oat, or whatever you want to get. That's how much it takes in your life in order to save an animal and not pay for these animals to be exploited and abused. And I can't be happier to make that transition. And my only regret today is I didn't do it sooner. I also want to add that as a scientist, my job is to study the impact of our diet in our health, on the environment, and on the animals. And when you really learn about how much suffering and injustice eating animal product causes, there is no justification for it. And being vegan is one of the best things we can do to not be a part of a problem. But I also want to encourage everyone to become a part of a solution by speaking up. When you look at what we do to animals, it's clearly an injustice. And in the face of injustice, silence is not an option. If my friend didn't come to me and tell me, hey, Faraz, you can't say you love animals and eat them too. If she didn't say that, if she didn't have the courage to speak up, I wouldn't be here today. So please use any opportunity to speak up for animals and bring this education to others. The truth is, my parents are amazing. They just didn't know anything. They told me that I need to eat meat to make muscles. I need to eat bone marrow. That's something we do in Iran. We eat bone marrow. And my mom was telling me that I need to do that in order to make blood. Today, I know that's not how it works, but that's okay. We grew up, we just didn't know. But today we know. And it's our responsibility to educate others. And of course, we are in minority, but that's something we should accept, that every time a society moves forward ethically and morally, there is going to be a group of people who are going to be in minority who are going to be fighting for this thing. And today, those people are us. So please don't be disappointed, be hopeful, and have the courage to speak up in any opportunity you get, and use anything in your power, whether it's your career, your volunteering time, your money and donations, whatever it is in your power, use it to educate others in arguably one of the most urgent issues of our time.